If it's a day called today, we're talking guitars and life. Let's get into it. Well, welcome back everybody to another exciting episode of TED Talks Guitars and Life. Yeah, man, you're looking at the two guitar necks off of the Super Twin guitars from Six Flags Incorporated, aka the Superman guitar and the Batman guitar. And I have been working on these necks, and what I want to do in this video is I want to put the tuners and the rolling string trees and all that jazz on these guitars, but not quite ready for that. So because I thought maybe you'd want to see the show, maybe you would want to see how the sausage was made, so to speak, I thought I'd bring you in. So what I've done is I have taken the black stain and I have stained not only the headstock on one of the Batman guitar, I spray painted the Superman headstock. The backs of the neck, that's all black stain. I learned a whole lot about staining wood. I used black stain Varathane. I'll see if I can put a link in the description below in case you're curious about the product that I used. And I read the directions a little bit more fully, and it dawned on me that I was not giving enough drying time between coats. So when I discovered that I wasn't giving enough drying time between coats, sure enough, I put the stain on and I wiped off the excess and I let that sit for about 2 hours or so, and then I did that again, and then I let it sit overnight, and I did that a couple more times. So now we've got a nice dark black stain. It is gray in just a couple of areas, like right there. Guys, I've decided I'm not going to fight that. It'll live on the bottom of the neck, and I can deal with that just fine. However, other than a couple of spots that are like that, these necks are mostly all black, which is what I wanted. And so after the old staining fiasco, I think it turned out all right, guys. Put in the comments, what do you think? Yeah, man, let me know what you think about these necks and how they look. Again, the more I look at that one, the more I want to do something about it, but I'm probably not going to. I don't know, guys. And I'm sure I've got all kind of ramifications on the headstock and the fingerboard of Superman. And some of the Batman fingerboard is taped up because I taped up the sides because I didn't want to cover up the dots on Batman the way I covered up the dots on Superman. So we'll figure out how to get the dots back visible later on. That'll be a different project. So then after I did all of that, I put some Danish oil. So this is one coat of Danish oil, and you apply that, you wipe it all dry according to the instructions, and then you let it sit for 8 to 10 hours, and then maybe I'll do that again. So the video that you're seeing, it has been several days in the making. I'm just giving you clips clearly. So the goal is to do that a couple of times where I've got a good finish, kind of a shiny, glossy look on the guitar necks. And then I'm suspecting that I will buff that out and maybe put some Howard Feeding wax or something on there, polish it up, make them super slick and shiny and soft to the feel. That's the way I like my guitar necks, Jack. So guys, that's what we're going to do today, man. Why don't you run out to the kitchen, get your favorite snack, meet me back at the workbench, man. We got some more work to do on these old Super Twin necks. I know you thought the adventure was over, but guys, I have a feeling it has just begun. Let's get into it. Well, all right, my friends, we've got us some guitar necks. I did appropriately put a little bit of Howard feeding wax on the guitar necks, man. What do you think about that, man? There's Superman's neck. Oh, I just love that cracking, man. This is the Batman headstock. Not too shabby, I don't think. Woo! Man, oh man, guys. That is not bad. Those are some, what did I say those were, Yard? 20.7, first fret on Superman, and 21.8 on Batman. Yeah, guys, those are feeling fantastic. Yeah, man, I ain't got no complaints about that. So what we need to do now is find some goodies that I got, put them on these guitar necks, Jack. Let me see if I can't find my parts and start to doing that. So again, just as a reminder, for $10, man, we did not go locking tuners. We went with regular old tuners. Guitar tuners, you understand? And yeah, I'm not trying to be a cheapskate or anything, man. I just thought, for $10 guitars, man, let's don't break the bank. So we did get our black Fender style rolling string trees. And we did get the Safu tuners that I have enjoyed so much around the channel, but we got the non-locking ones. That's what's so wild about these tuners, man, is that they come in this bag. Not only guitar parts, but musical instrument, effects, pedals, accessories, so much more. But then they have, in this plastic bag is this plastic bag, and then each one of these plastic bags have a little tuner in them, Jack. So yeah, man, it's going to take me a minute to get all this disassembled and ready to rock and roll. But I will be for doing that. Guys, what are y'all doing, man? What are you working on? Man, I so enjoyed the live stream this week, guys. The Oob has got me pretty much on dead center in terms of my guitar and my voice. So we're going to work on latency just a little bit more and a couple other things, but man, can't thank Oob enough for his help, man. He helps so much of us on our channels with our sound, with the tech stuff, man, and just a great outstanding human being, in my humble opinion. Oob, you really, really are. So yeah, man, I am just unpackaging stuff, talking to my friends about guitars, life, and the channel. And yeah, man, having a great time. And man, I did something so cool today, man. The other night in a live, man, I film everything in the shop. It's just a study. Oh, relax. Everybody knows it's my study. Come on, man. Don't be that guy. Critics abound, my friends. Critics abound. And somebody noticed a piece of art in my study behind me. And they said, "Hey, man, what is that? What's that really colorful line looking piece of art you got back there, man?" I saw. I pulled a Chris, man. You don't have to worry about that cool piece of art. I said, no, man, that piece of artwork, man. One of my recovery buddies gave that to the family, and I ended up with it in my study, shop, whatever. Whoop, is that a goatee shot? I don't know, probably not. I got my nippers, man. I need to get some new tools, guys. My nippers are, yeah, they leave a little bit to be desired. So what I generally do is just cut these off with a little nippage situation. And I always kind of force it down there. And then I cut my hand because those little nibs, man, can become projectile. And it hit my finger with some force. I mean, don't cry for me or anything. But yeah, man. So I should be wearing my safety glasses, which I don't know where they are, so I'm gonna be extra careful. Close my eyes a little bit when I do that. Yeah, man. And I need to keep track of where those projectiles go. Yeah, man. It's so cool hanging out with you guys, man. I appreciate talking about guitars and life clearly with y'all, man. I hope that you dig hanging out on the channel as well. And oh man, special thanks to all the jacks, man. Those who are members of the channel. And guys, I think I've said it in the past 5 videos, and I think you know my heart about all that, man. Look, I'm not trying to do a get rich scheme out here on YouTube and make a lot of money and that kind of stuff. Man, I did think memberships was an appropriate move for me at this point in time. So I made that move. And you know what, guys? If you don't have money to be a channel member, or maybe you just don't believe in channel memberships. I'm not a member of a lot of people's channel. I'm a member of a few people's channels. And yeah, man, to the jacks, by the way, I have decided, I've got videos scheduled, man. Like, oh man, every day between now and, oh man, nearly the end of July, as things stand right now, unless I slow my roll in getting things out to you, and which I don't intend to do. I'm going to take my file and I'm going to file my nibbage down. I don't need anything scratching my perfectly painted headstone. Oh, guys, there ain't nothing perfect about that, man. By the way, just as a reminder, this is black stain. This is black paint. There's always more than one way to do something. All right, got that one copacetically done. I'll do the other 3 while we're talking. But yeah, man, I mean, if you don't believe in the channel stuff and memberships and all that, it's all to the good, man. If you hang out with me anytime, man, at all, you spend any time on this channel, just know, man, that you are dear to me, and I consider each and everybody who spends a moment of their time with me a jag. Whether you want to be or not, I guess, man. But yeah, that's the way it is. But yeah, man, so what I did for the Jack Pack is, since I've got these videos scheduled, I decided, I just tried it tonight. So this will timestamp the vid for those of you who are in the know about, have seen, maybe you've seen it, where a video will be listed. Everybody will be able to see it, but it'll say members. It won't say members only. It'll say members first. So if it says members first, that's not a video that only members can see. It just means that the members are going to see it first. It's kind of what the word means. I know. All right, I'm going to put my file away. Keep things copacetically as clean as I can as I go. We have our nibs filed off of the rolling string trees. String retainers, you understand. I've got my 4 screws for those. And yeah, man, so the members are getting to see content before the content comes out to the public. So if you're a member of the channel and you like spoilers, like I know Cal likes spoilers, Cal was the first one to watch it. And he said, hey, now this is the way you do a spoiler or something like that. I said, well, man, I'm glad you dig it, Cal. Now, guys, I don't know about these tuners, man. These are not my 18-to-1 locking SAFU tuners that I normally buy. These are just plain old Jane non-locking tuners. I said I threatened to do this off camera so you guys didn't have to endure it, but then I figured, you know what, man? It is, let's see, it is late on a Thursday evening here, and I've actually got a couple of days off, so I'm going to be doing some things with the fam, and yeah, man, all that. So, anyway, I might work on a guitar or two. My wife said, I said, yeah, babe, I'm off till, such and such, and she said, gee, I wonder what you're going to do. And I looked at my study/shop. I said, I'm going to work on a guitar, probably. And she said, it was sarcasm, babe. Oh, man, she puts up with so much of my shenanigans, man. So much of my shenanigans. All right, let's check these tuners out. So they're a little wobbly in there. That's not fantastic. I prefer that not to be wobbly. It doesn't appear to have, that doesn't have any slack in it, that one. We'll do them one by one. They're not, I need to oil those. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to oil them. Even though they're brand new, I'm going to oil them. Now, guys, okay, look. There's 3 things that are true today and every day. Number 1, I'm not a luthier. Number 2, I'm not a professional. And number 3, this is just one man's journey. That's all the channel has ever been. And hey, Chris, man, today is the day that you posted the vid about the smelly frets, man. Oh, man, classic. All right, so although all of these have loosey-goosey pole pieces in them, all of them are taught to turn, so that's good news. I'm going to go ahead and get all these out of the package, man, because if I'm going to oil them, I'd like to do all of them at once. So, having said, yeah, same kind of deal, loosey-goosey and pretty tight. I don't know, I'm not sure what's the deal with this one, man? This one's got some kind of weird plastic deal going on. Huh. Is that extra wrapping? What is that? Uh-oh. I might have to return some tuners if I can't figure out what that is. I'm afraid all that's going to pull off if I keep yanking on that, but I get my needle nose pliers and see if I can't rip that off in a non-ripping way, You guys know how careful and cautious and non-bull in the china closet that I can be. Oh, that's a different bag, Ted. You're opening all the wrong bags. This guy has no idea what he's doing. Yeah, you're just now figuring that out. And stick around. You'll see all kind of stuff that'll blow your mind. Yeah, man. So I just figured we'd talk about guitars and life. And so, I said the three statements. I'm not a luthier. I'm not a professional. It's just one man's journey. And the reason that I told you that, or reminded you of that, is for one particular reason. So, guys, put it in the comments. What do you use to oil your machine heads? I know that my dear friend Two Bike Mike uses, I think, some kind of synthetic grease. I think Chris uses like grease. Grease is the word, baby. Grease is the word. And I don't know what everybody else uses. And so I've seen guys that have like syringes that they've put lube in, and it's very tactical in their approach to doing things, and probably an appropriate substance to be putting in machine heads. I am not that evolved, so what I do, I use this Epic Ride Bicycle Chain Lube White Lightning. And I don't have a syringe. I have this little plastic dropper thing. And so I put some of that in one of these little kind of cups, and I just pour it in here, and then I get just a little bit in here, and then I try to gingerly put it in there. Now that is much more arduous if the tuners are in the headstock. Being outside of the headstock, I'll have a much better angle at it like that. And I'm just going to put just a smidge of that Epic Ride bicycle, what do they call it? Bicycle chain lube. Yeah, there you go. And I can't remember. I think I could be wrong about this. So, you know, whenever you say something like I could be wrong about this, that's probably the wise thing to do would be to not say it. However, we've all met. I think maybe Dave at Dave's World of Fun Stuff, somebody's channel recommended that. And I can't remember who, and it seems like it was 100 years ago when I watched that video. It had to be in the last like year and a half. By the way, man, so my wife, well, I'll tell you the story and then I'll tell you what my wife said. So my camera right now is sitting on a tripod with one of those circle-y things right here. Sometimes you can tell because this area of the video down here will be like super bright. And that's because the camera is picking up the light from the tripod circle thingy. I think that's the technical term, circle thingy. Yeah, the halo. Maybe it's called a halo. I don't know. Anyway, I've had this tripod for a while. And so I didn't know exactly how long. I do remember that back during the Orange Crush saga. Anybody remember the Orange Crush? Please don't say Orange Crush. I know, right? Oh, the Orange Crush. Anyway, I had it outside. It fell over 3 times. And since then, it fell over twice in the house. And then it fell over again. And the part that holds the camera snapped off. So I super glued it back together and said, well, let's don't ever knock it over again. Well, since then, guys, I've knocked it over about 4 more times. I super glued it every time. And then the doohickey that makes the camera stay still, it has like a screw thing that you turn, a handle. Yeah, that's what it's called. How does this guy get a YouTube channel? I don't know, guys. It's not that hard. And so you turn it. I guess it's stripped or something. And so it doesn't hold my camera up. So I literally have like a napkin that's been folded 37 times. It's a scientific measurement shoved in there, and I can kind of sort of adjust it, and it kind of sort of holds. And every time I go to do something, I might say a few choice words under my breath. And so today I'm in here, and I said out loud, just get a no, get it straight. No, I didn't say get it straight. What I said was, just get a new tripod, you cheap wad. It's a budget channel. It is a budget channel. Now we got all kind of baggies, man. And guys, what's sad about me is I save this stuff like I'm never gonna use it. Actually, I've got old tuners in about 20 of these bags in a box that you cannot see off camera. Anyway, we call it the stash around here. All right, so all that to say, so I made that remark, and I was kind of fussing a little bit at myself about, why I don't just buy myself stuff that's quality first. Why do I keep buying garbage and then having to replace it? Now, in all honesty, the tripod isn't garbage. I've just knocked it over, as I've stated, several times. So I guess we're just going to do this now. Let me glove up for this operation, because that lube is no joke, man. No joke at all. So I was out there kind of just continuing my little rant about it. And I said, baby, I'm going to have to buy a tripod. And she said, okay. She said, I said, I wonder how long I've had that. And I looked, and I bought this tripod August of last year. So it's almost made it a year in my hands. So it's got a pretty good track record as Ted's gear goes. Well, as always, wherever you are in your guitar journey, I pray it's a long, smooth, safe, joy-filled ride for you, Jack. Hey, rock on with your bad selves, everybody. Catch you down the road.